Hey, how's it going? And today I'm just showing you, giving you a quick tour of this in-game leaderboard. I know they say that verse is supposed to be an easy language to understand, but honestly, it's not that easy. Anyway, what I've done, and I don't know if people will appreciate this or not, but I did put this in a paste bin in the description, so you don't have to go through this nightmare. But basically, there's four classes and there's actually five classes to make this work, and then just put it all in one big file, and it came out to be 263 lines. I mean, there's spaces between it, but it's a big file, a big verse file. But I found this easier than trying to make four different classes and all that. So I'll just go over this real quick. This is just the merge sort function. You don't even have to worry about it. It's all already coded for you. So you just need to copy it in. And like I said, this will all be in one giant file that you can just copy and put into a verse file. So I created one verse device and called it player leaderboards example.verse. It's got the merge in there. Then there's an actual verse device called player leaderboard example. And then you don't have to do anything with this. Just copy the code in. And this is really just for you to study and play around with. So the next class is what they call the get player stats or whatever, and it's handles the player stats and data. And so I have that. There's that one. And then there's another one that is stats message. It starts with stats message, and that handles the updates and the data display. And then the last one is the statistics data table, and that's down here. And this has a struct in it, right? So these all work together to update everything. So all you got to do is copy this code from Pastebin, create a verse device, and then just paste it all right in there and compile and save it. And then you'll end up over here and you'll have a verse device. So let's walk through the scene here, what I've got here. Let's see. Okay, so I've got a verse device here, and that's where it's coming from, that one section of code in there. And what it wants is it's going to want 3 player references, and then they are 1, 2, and 3. And then it's going to want, they call it a leaderboard, but it's a billboard. So there's 3 billboards, one in front of each player. So when you're laying them out, you just lay them out in an array. If I come back here to the verse device, so you'll have player reference 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then just line up the boards the same way. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So everything stays in order like that. And then you need a race manager, and one race manager is over here. You can set these points like for whatever. And then the last thing you need are some checkpoints, but they're not, you don't even have to, you just lay them out. So I have 3 checkpoints over here, right? All right next to each other, 1, 2, and 3. Now for the checkpoints, there are numbers on them. So like this is checkpoint number 1. By default, they'll all be a 1. So I name this 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And then on island settings, I really didn't have to adjust anything. It does say in the tutorial you need to adjust settings to have persistent data, but I'm not sure exactly what they're wanting you to adjust in there. I didn't really see anything. If you look through here, island settings, if you search for like under persistence, I didn't see anything really to adjust. I kind of looked at everything. There's this import live data, and then you've got simulate new user. So I just left that. I just left pretty much everything on the default in here on the island settings. I think there's one box in here I checked. Let me see. Show cumulative scoreboard, and I think I checked this box too, but I didn't really change anything in here. So, and you can look through it here. Now I don't have a vehicle spawner here. I'm just running through this. But what'll happen is it's kind of cool once you get it all done. So all that code, if you copy it in, it should compile without an error, and it's worth studying it. But I'm in the process of trying to simplify it because I think it's I think it's really a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And so anyway, let's hit play and I'll show you what this looks like. So I'll go into Fortnite, and you'll see I just have 2 spawners in here. There are the devices. I was going to say, I did a tutorial not that long ago about the player reference device being broken, and this kind of supports that, because you'll notice that the player reference is only there as a player reference, and it doesn't display any stats, and they use a billboard device to display the player stats. So that tutorial I made about the player reference device not fully working seems to be true, because the player stats on the actual player reference device don't work. So we use a billboard device in front of the player reference device. And so that made me feel a little better, because I was like, yeah, something wasn't right with it. So anywho, let's go ahead and hit start and see what this looks like. Now, what's interesting is it's player stats, right? So it's keeping track of how many times I've already done this. So look, you come over here, you'll see points 25, 5 total wins, because that's how many times I've been through this already. So if I just come over here, I don't have a truck or anything. But as soon as I go through this one, see the next one pops up. And then the next one pops up. And then I'm done, right? So now what's interesting is you won't see my results until I quit the game and come back. So look, I'm still at 5 total points, 25, 5 total wins. Now watch. And then I'll come back in. Watch. So when I come back in, you should see my score. So it's pretty cool, you know, that it's keeping track of. It does. It's kind of. See, but look at my score now. See, 6 total wins, 30 total points. So it's working, right? I just don't have any other players to test on it. So anyway, I just did this to get you started with that tutorial, because quite honestly, it was a little challenging. And I did a tutorial about there being an error in there, because when they call the merge sort, they have the parameters reversed. So in the code that is in Pastebin, it's correct. So anyway, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.